What's going on, everybody? This is the VOR. This is the Not for Debate podcast. We are live on Facebook and on YouTube. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and all other major streaming platforms. Also, be sure to go ahead and like, comment, and definitely subscribe. And also be sure to share. Hopefully, G Money will join us sometime in the near future. A couple of announcements, like always. Want to appreciate everybody that's supporting the Not for Debate podcast. I believe we're sitting at over 380 likes on the Not for Debate podcast Facebook page, and also I keep forgetting about this. Going to keep on reminding you guys until the day of the draft, which is the 29th next week. We are going to have the NFL draft party. So NFL draft party gives everybody an opportunity to come through, hang out, voice their opinion. It's going to be an exciting time. 1 second, because we're going to go ahead and welcome in G Money. G Money, what's up, man?
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Yes, you all good, man. All good. We were just real quick, touching on the NFL draft party that we're going to have. Also, we're sitting at over 380 likes on the Not for Debate podcast Facebook page. So again, I want to express my gratitude to everybody that is on the Not for Debate podcast train right now. We are doing big things. But what's going on with you, G-Man?
Nothing. I just got my TV, so yeah, pretty good. I haven't set it up yet because I'm gonna get a entertainment system this weekend.
Okay, so tell me what's going on with the TV. Like, how many inches? Like, any special features? 4K?
No, it's not 4K. My job is not that rich, but it is internet options. It has all the apps. It's 50 inches.
Okay, so 50 inches. I'm isn't like 4K like the standard now? I feel like if it's not 4K, it ain't right.
It might be 4K, but knowing my job.
Okay, I got you.
I think it is 4K actually. I was just trying to make a joke.
Okay, so we balling then. We balling. We got the 4K TV. You got to set up the sound system, the whole setup, sound system, entertainment system. Excuse me. Are we just doing a basic sound bar, or are we gonna actually get out? Okay, just basic. All right, I thought you was going the real deal and getting the receiver out and get like 4 speakers, and you was gonna do your thing.
No, I'm good. I don't need all that. I'm not
Okay,
fancy.
I got you. I got you. So on that note, we're gonna go ahead and hop into the first topic. Steph Curry over the month of April has averaged, excuse me, over 40 points a game. Now, I'm going to pose this question to you. Do you think Steph Curry deserves to win the MVP award after an amazing month of April?
I don't think that anyone who wins the MVP should be not in the playoffs. Right now, they're currently 9th seed. They're fighting for the 8th spot. No, I think that I think Joel has showed consistently throughout the season that he's been the best player this year. LeBron was in that conversation as well, but he went down. I think Steph should be in the conversation, but if his team doesn't make the playoffs, definitely not. You got to make the playoffs, at least make the playoffs before you can talk about MVP. You can't be the MVP outside of the playoffs. And I disagree with that. But he's balling. Like I've never been a real Steph Curry fan. I just thought he was overrated. I thought he was arrogant, but I've been wrong. I've been so wrong about this dude. This dude is balling, man. Like and then they're doubling him, and he's still getting off the shot. Like he's just playing amazing.
Right. It's very, very hard for me not to give it to him because right now he is the most exciting basketball player to watch right now. And I think at this point, when it comes down to that actual voting, I think it's going to go on sheer popularity, and I think Steph Curry got it.
Yeah, but if the team doesn't make the playoffs, he's still going to win. Like,
understand? Okay, let me put this out there. understandably so, Russell Westbrook ended up winning the MVP that year. But to be honest with you, I don't think he deserved it, even though he was winning he had the triple-double.
No, that's wrong. You're wrong. That's wrong. That's something. Listen to me. That's something that hasn't been done in. Listen, the first year he did it, that's something that hasn't been done in like 40 years up until that point. That was a special occasion. That was a different circumstance. That was special. Listen, Kevin Durant left. His team was not in the playoff race, not in the playoff name, nothing. He carried that team that whole year. He deserved that MVP, and they was what, 6th seed. So yes, he deserved that. In this case, Steph is balling. But if you can't make the playoffs,
okay. Because currently they're sitting at, I believe, the 9th seed because they just lost to the Washington Wizards tonight. So,
oh my God, really?
Yeah, they lost. So with that being said, okay, I believe the Grizzlies are sitting 2 games ahead of them. If I gotta look at that again, but you're saying if they make the playoffs, you would give him the MVP award. And also,
go ahead.
My bad.
Sorry.
I just want to go ahead and welcome Banks into the pod real fast.
What's up, Banks?
What's up, everybody? Chilling.
But please continue.
So what I was going to say is that I think they can make the playoffs. I think they'll probably catch Memphis. They just can't lose these games that they shouldn't lose. Like, how do you lose to Washington? I mean, come on. But I get it. I just don't think that you can be considered MVP if you're not in the playoffs. Like, you got to at least make the playoffs. That's just my thing. If he can make the playoffs, I wouldn't mind him being MVP because Joel got injured, LeBron went down, Giannis is balling too, but he's not. It's not like the last 2 years before. So I guess Steph could win. There's a chance that he can win off of just 1 month, but it hasn't been just 1 month. He's been balling consistently this whole season. He's just turned it up this last month. But yeah, if he can get his team in the playoffs, give him the MVP. I don't mind.
Banks, did you want to chime in on that? Apparently we are.
I thought it was the MVP conversation with Steph Curry, right?
Yes.
Is that the conversation? Can you hear me?
Yes, that is the conversation.
Oh, all right, yeah. I mean, why not Steph? Steph is balling out, but I do agree with Greg with what Greg is saying in terms of Steph. If they don't make the playoffs, then I mean it's a hard argument for MVP if you don't make the playoffs. I don't even think that's ever happened before. I mean, if it did, then somebody got to tell me. But I mean, no. Steph is balling out of control. Like what he's doing is amazing this year. I mean, had it been another player that we're not going to mention, the world be turned upside down right now. Had it been him, but fortunately,
let it go.
It's Steph Curry, and it only matters when the other number 23 guy does something in the NBA. That's the only time it matters. But I like what Steph is doing, man. Steph is playing very, very good basketball this late in the season. I mean, considering the last few years he hasn't had near as much firepower that he's normally used to carrying. But the issue I have too with Steph, though, besides that, is playoffs is normally when Steph doesn't shine for the most part. Regular season he plays amazing for some reason, and then playoff time comes, it's just like Steph who, So yeah, but I mean, why not Steph? I mean, the rest of the conversation is kind of slowed down. LeBron has missed time, AD has missed time, Durant has missed time, Kyrie has missed time, James Harden has missed time. You got Jamal Murray, who was considered MVP material. He's gone. Who else? I mean,
we forgot about Joker. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not Steph Curry, I would say the far 1A, 1B would be the Jokic, hands down. Like what Jokic is doing at the center position. I mean, bruh. I mean, pretty much leading his team in almost every statistical category. It's almost like Jamal Murray hasn't even left the court the way that they pass the ball around out there, bro. I mean, they're still, going through. So, but to the point about Steph, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think Steph is going to, get it if they don't make the playoffs. But if he makes the playoffs, why not? He's played better than almost anybody this year.
Okay. Do you think the Golden State Warriors will make the playoffs?
You gotta look at their schedule to see. I mean,
No.
I can try to pull up their schedule. It all depends on who they play, really.
No. They're not going to make the playoffs. And for what it's worth, I probably wouldn't even want them to make the playoffs. I mean, they're going to go to the playoffs as an 8 seed, and then, have to play the Utah Jazz or whomever. Yeah, that would be nice. Even if they go to the playoffs, I think they're going to be out in 5 maybe. I'll give Steph a game, maybe 2, so 5 or 6, and they're out. So
I agree. You know what? Your worst nightmare, Banks, might happen. 2022, Steph and LeBron on the Lakers. I don't know if you heard what's been going on at the All-Star game. You see how happy they was playing with each other instead of against each other.
Man, that's
your worst nightmare.
Happen.
Your worst nightmare.
That's not gonna happen.
Okay. Steph Curry or Damian Lillard, one of them are going to the Lakers. I'm telling you. Mark my words. What's today? April 21st. Steph Curry or Damian Lillard, one of them are going to the Lakers. I promise you. Even Westbrook, maybe even Westbrook.
Oh, well, you can kiss the championship goodbye if Russell Westbrook goes to the Wizards.
To the Lakers, you mean?
Yeah, to the Lakers. I'm sorry.
Nah, Westbrook with LeBron. I think LeBron can handle Westbrook. I think he just needed somebody who's as fiery and as tough as him. I think they'll work together fine if that ever happens.
As fiery and as tough as him. If he can't make it work with Bradley Beal, I don't know what to tell you. Also play with Paul George. Like, you can't make it work with Paul George.
Paul George doesn't show up in the playoffs. He's come on now. No, stop.
We playing great basketball right now.
This is the regular season. Let's wait to the playoffs.
I feel like playoff P gonna show up this year. I have been one of the biggest Paul George supporters. I'm not gonna lie to you, he has fell short in the playoffs, but I feel like this is going to be the year for Paul George with Rajon Rondo as running the point. And I said this from day one. Banks knows this. I'm not the biggest Kawhi fan.
I think Rondo is going to make them formidable. Rondo might take him to the finals. That him alone, like he knows the game so well. He knows angles. He knows how to pass the ball. He knows how to lead a team. He was huge for the Lakers last year. So yeah, Rondo's a big factor. Like, you're going to have to beat him 4 times.
He definitely turns up in the playoffs. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, he just takes it to another level in the playoffs. I love Rondo.
Me too.
We're gonna go ahead and I just added this topic in here recently because it just popped up on my breaking news. But Justin Fields informs the NFL that he has epilepsy. And for those at home that don't know what epilepsy is a neurological disorder marked by sudden recurrent episodes of sensory disturbance, loss of consciousness, or convulsions associated with abnormal electrical activity. Now, my question that I'm going to pose for you guys is, do you think that's going to hurt Justin Fields' draft stock, considering the fact that his draft stock has risen up since his NFL Pro Day performance?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to drop him that far back. But if you already had concerns about drafting him that high for nothing, then you got your excuse now. The NFL has their excuse to put this man behind the 8 ball. We finally got something. It's like they've been digging. I don't know what it is about the Justin Fields thing. I don't understand it. I don't recall this guy ever having any trouble in school while he was playing. I don't remember his name in the newspapers, anything like that. And for some reason, every week it's like we're hearing something negative about him in the draft. This guy just ran a sub 4.5, 4.4 in the 40. That's the problem. I just go ahead and just draft Zach Wilson and let's get over with. Like, Jesus, man. Like, I don't get it. Now on the side of his health concern, if the epilepsy thing is a serious issue, then yes, teams have the right to err on the side of caution because we're talking about something that's triggered by the brain. Epilepsy
Right.
is a very serious condition, and we already have to deal with the fact that he's taking contact and you have concussions that are high likely. And then you have a person that deals with epilepsy. That is a random thing that just happens. It just triggers. Epilepsy is pretty serious. It's even to the point where even before certain video games are played, they warn you about epilepsy, how certain things that happen on video games may trigger epilepsy. If you're someone that, suffers from epilepsy, it's not recommended that you play certain video games as a result of that. Normally, any games that have like fast-paced action to it or something like that can trigger it. I actually had a friend of mine who had epilepsy years ago, so I know a little bit of something about it. But yes, in terms of the NFL, I feel like they finally found the reason for Justin Fields to get drafted as high as what he deserves to be. Go ahead and put Zach Wilson in that number 2 spot because that just seems like what they're trying to do.
Well, after all that, it's not really much to say. I think that, there's a reason why they're trying to look for all this stuff about him. I mean, we all know why. I'm not going to really repeat it, but this epilepsy is very, very serious, just like Banks said, and that's not something that you want. You want to have caution with this, so teams are allowed to be careful. I just hope, for me personally, I hope that he doesn't fall too far. I hope that he can stay within the top 10 at least, that he doesn't fall off the top 10. Well, that would be my next question to you guys. Do you think because of this, he's going to fall out of 10th or out of the first round? You think he'll still be drafted in the first round? I think he still will be because his talent is so great, but it'll be a surprise. It'll be a shame if he's not drafted at least in the first round.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer your question with a question. Now, I know how Banks feels about the San Francisco 49ers trading up to that 3rd pick, but it's a toss-up right now who the 49ers are going to end up rolling with at that 3rd pick. Is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be Justin Fields? Banks thinks it's going to be somebody else at that 3rd pick. But do you think that rules out Justin Fields going to the San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I just have a bad feeling that he's going to be outside the top 10.
Woo! Outside the top 10.
Yeah.
Banks? Oh, excuse Banks. He's having technical difficulties right now. Now, me thinking about it as far as Justin Fields is concerned, I feel like after that pro day, it did solidify him being a top 3 pick. But I think there is going to be a team that's going to roll the dice on him as far as trade ups, which happens to be our topic of discussion. It all depends on what team decides they want to trade up to actually get a quarterback. Now, I will say this: Trey Lance will go before him now because of this epilepsy thing, but he will most definitely still go in the first round if we're being 100.
Okay. Top 10 though?
Again, it all depends. Like if you sit back and look at the teams that are quarterback needy, you have the Denver Broncos sitting at number 9. That's still in the top 10. If we don't know what your Eagles are going to do, it's a possibility they may end up wanting to get back into the top 10 and grab another quarterback. They're sitting at 12. You got the Patriots. They're sitting at 15. Washington football team, they're sitting at 19, which, to be honest with you, if Justin Fields ends up sliding and he ends up going all the way to 19, I feel like that's a hell of a steal for the Washington football team. They should pull the trigger on that right in there when he ends up getting there. The Chicago Bears, we all know how shaky the Chicago Bears organization is. They may end up taking a chance on Justin Fields trading down from 20. The Pittsburgh Steelers sitting at 24. You have the New Orleans Saints. If they're not happy with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, it's a possibility they could trade down. So as far as the teams that are sitting in the top 10 right now, I highly doubt it. But if those teams that I just mentioned possibly trade up in the draft to get into the top 10, then yes, I could see him going in the top 10.
Okay.
Not to mention Mac Jones is still on the board too. So I think this solidifies Trey Lance going before Justin Fields, and it also solidifies Mac Jones going before Justin Fields.
That shouldn't be the case, but unfortunately, it might be.
I don't feel like any quarterback in the draft this year. There's no quarterback in NFL draft this year that should be drafted before Justin Fields if your name is not Trevor Lawrence. Period. None of those guys play better than Trevor Lawrence than Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence the entire college career. I don't care who it is. Mac Jones' name has come out of nowhere. He had one pretty good year, and then look at the weapons that he's had with him. Alabama, they get the top recruits every year. Same as Tua. Tua had all those weapons to throw to, and then he gets to the pros, and you kind of struggle when you don't got the weapons there. Granted, Tua's still a definitely a good talent, but it's yet to be seen. I really feel that whoever gets Justin Fields, depending on what type of system he runs, this system like Ohio State ran the system with that spread offense, you're going to get a really good quarterback because the guy does not make bad decisions. He's pretty accurate with the ball. He's been pretty good decision maker. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot. I mean, yeah, he struggled earlier this year with the turnovers due to the fact that they started the year very late compared to a lot of teams. I feel like if Ohio State would have started the season a lot earlier, he would have got off to an even harder start. The guy can play. When you see him play, you know without a doubt this guy has what it takes. This almost reminds me of the Deshaun Watson situation when Deshaun Watson was coming out of the draft. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was kind of the similar thing where they were just trying to find all these issues and reasons. And everybody knew that Deshaun Watson was the best quarterback out of that draft. He was better than, what's the guy's name, Baker Mayfield and all this other stuff. And then somehow or another, Baker Mayfield. You know what I mean? It's just, and to be honest with you, if I had to be very honest, if you compare Baker Mayfield to Deshaun Watson, who has the better career so far? It's definitely got to be Deshaun Watson. So, I don't know, man. I just feel like, that color plays a lot to it as well. It's my opinion. And then guys like and you know what? Guys like what's the guy named Dwayne Haskins? He doesn't make it better for colored quarterbacks in the NFL considering all the things that he was doing. He was a pretty high draft pick. I think he was fourth or fifth in the draft. I watched him a few years ago. And then he plays the way he played and just had a nonchalant attitude like he didn't care. So
I think he went 12th.
Was it 12?
He went to the because I know the Dolphins passed up on him at 11.
So it looks like you guys saved the pick. You guys did a great job passing on him. That hasn't turned out very well.
You remember when we did the mock draft that year?
Right.
And I picked Brian Burns.
Right.
And they picked Christian Wilkins.
Right.
Now look at Brian Burns' career so far. Look at Christian Wilkins.
I don't know how I know. Like even with that pick there with Brian Burns, how do you not? You can look at this guy and tell. Like him coming out of Florida State, you can just see it. Like the talent is he is athletically gifted, man. This guy is insane how good he is. And you don't really hear about him in Carolina because it's Carolina. They've been struggling the last few years, but he's probably been the best player, one of the best defenders in the league. Like that guy can play. He can play every position on the field except for like secondary. He can play linebacker, inside, outside. He can play any interior position in the line, D line, nose tackle, whatever you want to play, he can play it. He's insane.
Yeah, man, that was that. They just let me do the draft. They just let me do the draft, G buddy, because I was like, bro. We mean we would suck. That was I picked Brian Burns, and Brian Burns has been. I think he had 8 sacks last year. Now, granted, you're not gonna get the same level of production out of Christian Wilkins, but still, Brian Burns is obviously the better draft pick.
You got the Dolphins passed on Brian Burns and went with a guy that does splits. What? Big 300-pound guy that can do splits. That is amazing.
But G-Money, he said he didn't get. He got some, but I probably could count on one hand how many he got so far in his career. But let me ask you this, G-Money. Since we on the moving up in the NFL draft topic, do you see the Philadelphia Eagles possibly moving back in the top 10 to picking a quarterback? Or are you sold on Jalen Hurts as your quarterback for 2021?
I think not only am I sold, I think the Eagles organization is sold. I think they're going to ride with the kid. I think they could trade trade up for maybe some wide receivers or something on the offense, but not for a quarterback. I think they're going to ride with him.
Okay, so if Justin Fields just happens to be sitting there at number 12, are you telling me the Eagles are going to pass that up?
Hell no, they should take him. I'm just they should take him. Anybody who gets Justin Fields is going to be just fine. So if he's still there, which is mine, like it would be crazy if nobody would pick him up by then. But if he's still there, hell yeah, take him. If you have a chance to get him, get him. But I'm just saying, like they're not actively looking for a quarterback because I think they're okay with the guy that they have now. We're okay. We got faith in him eventually.
I feel like that's going to be very, very interesting to look at as far as when you go from number 6 and on up. What are those teams going to plan on doing if Justin Fields is sitting there on the board? That's going to be very, very interesting. And obviously, like I said, there's a possibility that teams are going to want to trade up. But if it's really going to show what teams are committed to their quarterback and what teams are not committed to their quarterback from number 6 and up, if we're being completely 100, especially the Dolphins. Especially the Dolphins.
What Dolphins? You guys. I mean, you guys have been together the last few years, though. I mean, I gotta admit, the Tua thing hasn't been a bust yet. We're gonna wait and see. We're gonna wait and give Tua another year or two. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get to another year or two. Now, Banks, I haven't asked you this question. Who you think had the better rookie season as far as eye test for you? Not including stats, but Justin Fields or Tua?
Justin Fields.
Excuse me. Damn, why do I keep saying that? Jaylen Hurts or Tua?
Jaylen Hurts. Jaylen Hurts look a lot more. Jaylen Hurts look pro ready in college. Like this guy, Jaylen Hurts can play football, man.
Yeah,
he can play football, man. He can play football. I was really upset with Alabama when they did that. I was very upset with Alabama when they sat Jaylen Hurts. But it paid off for them. They still ended up winning the national championship with Tua or whatever. So they win one with Jaylen Hurts. So it worked out for them both.
I got you. G Money, you say you had a scenario for us.
What if he's still available? What with the Patriots at 15? Do you think Bill will pick him up?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
They still need their quarterback now. Again, this puts the Niners in a situation now because I strongly believe that the Niners are going
to. Listen, let me tell you something. Stop it. Stop. The 49ers are not drafting a quarterback. Stop.
Since you didn't get an opportunity to elaborate on why you think the 49ers are not drafting a quarterback, please elaborate on that. And also, tell me who you think the 49ers are going to end up drafting at that 3rd pick since they decided to trade with the Dolphins. They traded 2 first-round picks to go to number 3.
But that don't mean that's a definite spot for a quarterback. Garoppolo is the quarterback of the future for the 49ers. We're treating it as if the 49ers suck with Garoppolo. They were a good team. Garoppolo took them to the Super Bowl. It's not like he's been terrible since he got there. Yeah, he's a little bit passive. He needs to come out of his game manager mode. He needs to come out of that New England Patriot way of just getting out there and managing the game and whatever. He needs to play a little bit more aggressive. But Garoppolo is staying the quarterback of the 49ers. They invested a lot in this guy. A lot. And they gave him a contract, too. Now, albeit that contract favors the 49ers more so than it favors Garoppolo because they can cut him at any time and cut dead weight. I don't even think most of that money. I think he got all his guarantee money up front, if I'm not mistaken. So they can just kind of cut him and get away with it. But Waddle is the player, the quarterback of the future for the 49ers. I can see if it was a situation where he had let me backtrack a little bit. I just thought about something. I probably opened my mouth a little bit too quick. Garoppolo was injured last year, right?
Repeat that.
Garoppolo was injured last year, correct?
Yes, he got hurt.
Yeah, injuries always fail. Yeah, it sits on your conscience a little bit.
And through 4 picks to the Dolphins.
Yeah, they're still not going for no quarterback. They're going to go after a big play receiver or somebody on defense. That's just my opinion.
You're gonna go after a corner. They're gonna go after the secondary because that's where they're mostly
that's
lacking.
what they need. They don't have anything in the secondary, especially with Sherman not being there no more. Like they don't have nothing.
So you think they're going defensive back at the number 3 spot for the San Francisco 49ers?
Yeah, because you ever heard of Patrick Surtain II? Have you seen that guy play?
Yeah.
That's a definite Pro Bowl right there in the future. You can look at him and tell going up that high to get him at number 3 is not bad. He's one of the best players in the draft, top 5 players in the draft. The guy can play.
I get what you're saying though, Vor. You're saying like you're wasting your 3rd pick on a defensive guy. You could,
Bro, you were sitting at 12. You could get him at 12. Why would you trade up?
But listen,
you're not going to get Surtain at 12. No. You're not getting Surtain at 12. You're not getting Surtain at 12. No, you're not. You're not getting Surtain at 12. Surtain will be gone within the first 5 picks.
Well, okay.
Well, I mean, and if you don't go first 5, the first 10, he's not going to be there at 12.
Okay.
Have you guys seen Patrick Surtain play? Like seriously, have you guys seen him play?
I don't see that happening. But let me go ahead and read you some cornerbacks that have went in the top 5. You listening, Banks?
I am listening.
Okay. Okay, so Denzel Ward, he was the 4th overall pick to the Browns. Jalen Ramsey.
Wait. No. But when you're doing this list, I want you to tell me whether or not it worked out for that team. Denzel Ward, yes, worked. Jalen Ramsey, yes, worked. Next.
Patrick Peterson.
Next, worked. Next.
Worked. Mm-hmm.
Terrence Newman.
Work. Next.
Yeah, no.
Quentin Jammer.
Work. Next. What are you saying right now?
Charles Woodson.
Of course.
He's a Hall of Famer. I'm gonna give you Charles Woodson. I just want to hear what you said. John Springs.
Yeah.
Bryant Westbrook.
I don't remember him. Is that a guy that played for the Eagles?
Okay, so my conclusion is, as far as taking a cornerback in the top 5, I'm not doing it.
How is that your conclusion?
One guy. That's your conclusion.
I gave you one. I gave you 1, 2.
Yeah, but you only said one guy. You said one guy wasn't good.
6. You said one guy that wasn't good, bro.
8. I gave you 8 corners in the
and
last.
Only one didn't work.
8 corners in the last 20 years.
And only one didn't work. Like I remember this guy was.
That's understandable, but that's a big, huge risk. You taking a corner at number 3?
What's the risk with taking a corner in that position at that spot? What's the risk in that? This is a passing lead. Like where's the risk?
Hey, I feel like you can wait till after.
Okay. So not a corner. What about a pass rusher, edge rusher, a pass rusher? No, not even that.
Absolutely, I feel like edge rushers, they run the league.
But they have a dominant edge rusher. That's not.
Yeah, that yes, but he's just speaking in hypotheticals as far as the value of an edge rusher in the NFL draft. If I honestly feel outside of the quarterback position, edge rusher should be most valued.
Yeah, but not for the 49ers though.
Yeah, obviously not for the 49ers, but if we just talking about the Niners, I agree with you as far as taking a corner, but I'm out the boat when you decide you want to trade from number 12 all the way to number 3 for a corner. Okay. I can't get with that.
I want this entire segment. Just do me this favor. I want this entire segment to be clipped. And I want us to put it on the Facebook page and maybe Twitter and also the Not for Debate page on Facebook. And we're going to get a poll in this. Because I personally feel that getting Patrick Surtain is a guaranteed lock for the 49ers if he's available at that spot. Because that's how bad they need corners. And he's available at that spot.
Okay, so I'm just saying, like, why does it have to be Surtain? Like at 12, you could have got Caleb Fairley. Now, obviously, he's hurt. He has surgery. You could have got J.C. Horn. You could have got
Sante Samuel.
Asante. Yeah, I feel like he'll end up going in early, mid-second round. Man, who's the other corner that I can't think of off the top of my head right now?
Jace Horn. I mean, you got Patrick Surtain. You got Jace Horn. Grant. You got Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. He's another one that's good.
Caleb ain't going. I don't think Caleb's going to end up going in the first round. If we're being 100,
I love Caleb Farley. Like his size is ridiculous. Like he is 6'2", 207. Like he's amazing. And, he comes from that Virginia Tech. That Virginia Tech mode. So, Virginia Tech normally brings out good corners every year for the most part. It was one point that they were bringing out corners every single year in the top 10, top 15 of the draft. So, but yes, Patrick Surtain, according to Pro Football Focus, let me just read this for you real quick. Pro Football Focus has him rated as the number one quarterback. The number one cornerback in the draft this year. They have him ranked as the number 13th best player in the draft, according to them. It says Surtain was the highest graded cornerback in college football this past season and has seen his Pro Football Focus grade increase every single year since his freshman campaign. It's also not hard to project him to the NFL when he has played 662 press coverage snaps over the past 2 years. So what does that tell you right there, boy?
He can play man.
And he can lock you the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
If we being completely 100, the scheme that the 49ers run does not require a shutdown corner like Patrick Surtain. I feel like that's more of like a zone up type of corner that you would need in that San Francisco 49ers defense. And I don't feel like that requires a third pick. That's a pretty high pick.
Here's what I'm saying, DeVore. This is what I'm saying to you in terms of this particular segment. You already have the prerequisites on your defense to make your defense pretty solid. They have the pass rush. They have the linebackers. Their issue last year wasn't talent on the defensive side of the ball. It was injuries, and they had issues in their secondary, primarily at the cornerback spot. The 49ers see this as, I'm telling you, and we're talking about, look who their general manager is. Talking about John Lynch. I don't see John Lynch drafting a quarterback. I'm just telling you that. I don't see that happening. The 49ers, if Patrick Surtain is there, they're going to take Patrick Surtain. They're going to get him, especially with the Arizona Cardinals having the weapons that they have on the offensive side of the ball. You got the Rams having the weapons that they have, even though we don't have any prolific receivers. You got Seattle having the receivers that they have. Bro, this is a no-brainer for me personally.
Boy, that makes so much sense. It makes sense for them to take a corner and take Surtain specifically at that number 3. It's not a big risk for the 49ers. They don't need a quarterback. They already have their quarterback. Is he the best? Is he the greatest? No, but he's good. He's perfect for them. They don't need a quarterback. They need defense. They need secondary. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think
wait a minute. Hold on. Listen to what you're saying here. You have Bosa, Nick Bosa, and you have Frank Clark. Possibly the top 10 pass rushers in the league. You running a cover 3. What are you doing with a shutdown corner you're drafting at number 3? I don't see it. I guess I preached the silence into him. I don't know. They ain't talking. But I just do not see it. When you coming out and you're running a cover 3 and you go out and draft the best corner in this year's draft, and you trade up to get him. So you gave up 2 first-round picks just to get a corner when you could have got any corner. I feel like you could have got Asante Samuel in the second round and you could have been good there. So I feel like you could have plugged him and played him in and I think he would be perfect for the Niners in the second round.
What's the issue with Garoppolo? Like you don't like him? You don't think is there issue with him, or you just think there's a better quarterback than him out there?
I'm not even saying that the Niners need to draft a quarterback. I'm just saying I find it utterly ridiculous if the Niners decide they want to draft Patrick Surtain at number 3. Like, as far as like cornerback value, and you just look at what the Niners like to do defensively, is just straight up cover 3 zone. That's what they do. They barely run man-to-man coverage, that's what Surtain does. So you could basically get any corner that has any pretty decent coverage skills and plug them in that secondary, because you have an excellent pass rush with Frank Clark and Bosa. That's an excellent pass rush right there. So you can't, like, how long do you think you're going to have to cover? I feel like that's just not necessary for the Niners to go out and draft the best corner in the draft. I just don't see that.
But they clearly wasn't working.
What'd you say, Banks? I couldn't hear you.
So they're gonna go draft the best quarterback in the draft.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
like,
okay.
Just,
who are the 49ers taking this pick? If it's not a quarterback, it's going to be a receiver. So maybe they're going up in the draft to get Jamar Chase.
I think you have a better chance. I think you have a better chance of thinking the Niners would take a receiver before they take a quarterback. I would 1,000% agree with you on that. But if it's not receiver, it's definitely a quarterback. Quarter, no freaking way. No freaking way. No freaking way. They be some freaking fools if they decide to trade up. Banks, you got to think about this for a second. They gave up 2 first-round picks for a corner? For a corner, bro? No.
Not just any corner. We're talking about Patrick Surtain here, bro.
Okay. Oh my goodness. If we just be in 100, just think about this. In cover 3, do you really think it requires a shutdown corner to run cover 3?
Yeah, because you got like cover 3 is just, you got to remember, cover 3 is just an extension of man coverage as well, bro. You're still one-on-one. Remember,
you're right. You are number 1, not one-on-one, but you're not. You have like a 10-yard head start.
Not always, because maybe they play a cover 3 press.
You play cover 3 press. You're putting your hand on the chest plate and you're sprinting backwards. You just got one job. Don't let him pass you. That's it. So I'm sorry. I cannot see it. Man to man is a totally different ball game.
But guess what? They got a new defensive coordinator and stuff now too. Because maybe his defensive coordinator philosophy ain't the same as the coordinator before. Wasn't Robert Saleh hired by another team as a head coach?
He's the head. Yes, I agree.
So
with you, they not changing that. They not changing it.
Why would they not change it? They might change it for him.
I guess we'll find out. But I'm gonna stand by this. They ain't drafting a corner at number 3.
I think so. I think so. Listen, all right. If they take a corner at number 3, you immediately, because we're going to be recording that live during the draft party, you immediately have to say on air, thanks, you're the smartest man ever. You should be an NFL general manager. That's what I want you to say.
Bro, like I said, you
yes or no, bro?
I will do that if you're right, but I like, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. You can get Asante Samuel in the 2nd round, and he fits exactly what you need them to do. Why would you?
Asante Samuel's undersized. He's not as big as Surtain.
Yeah, he's not as far-fetched, boy. He's not as big as Surtain, but he as far as a scheme fit, Asante Samuel's your guy.
It might be a different scheme when this new season starts.
Like, okay, let's take this example. I'm gonna give you this example. Remember when Darrelle Revis signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, they ran Tampa 2. Why Tampa 2 does not require a shutdown corner like Revis?
Yeah, but by that time Revis went to Tampa Bay, he wasn't really a shutdown receiver. He was playing a lot of zone. So I don't think that's really a good comparison.
It is because you're telling Patrick Peterson, you're drafting Patrick Peterson to play zone on a team that can put pressure on you in less than 3 seconds. Hello?
We hear you, man. He's like, okay.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. I just can't.
Make sure you clip that, man. That was funny as hell. I think Greg was both like, this nigga tripping.
Yeah.
He was like, hello. You're right, DeVore. You're right. They're not going to draft Asante Samuel. I mean, Patrick Samuel. You're right. You're right, bro. No, don't worry. You're right.
Hey,
I'm not conceding. I'm not conceding. No,
don't play this significant other bull jive with me.
What the hell are you talking about, man?
Just to tell you right, so you can shut up.
Right, yeah. Next topic, man.
All right.
Wait, we're gonna go to commercial. This podcast has been brought to you by Patrick Surtain's not agent.
That's just crazy.
Just know he wouldn't hire you as an agent at all, bro. He would not hire your ass.
Hey, I wouldn't, because I'm gonna tell him like it is. I'm like, look, bro, you ain't going to the top 10 right now. Value of quarters, unless you Deion Sanders, you're not going in the top 10.
Bruh, how you gonna shoot that man lifelong dream down like that? What kind of agent are you?
Like I'm telling him, he ain't gonna get drafted at all. He ain't going to the top 10.
Oh wow, bro. Agent.
Hey, just being 100. But last topic of discussion. The NFL has approved of jersey restrictions, which means the running back, receiver, fullback, and tight end can wear numbers 1 through 49 and 80 through 89, and defensive backs can wear 1 through 49. Linebackers can wear 1 through 59, 90 through 99. Offensive linemen can wear 50 through 79. Defensive linemen can wear 50 through 79 and 90 through 99. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't understand this. What's the point of this? I don't get it. Like, I don't see the logic behind this. Like, I need somebody to explain to me why this is even a topic of discussion. Like, it's just a number.
Yeah, because some guys are in athletics, sports, football, especially in football. Some numbers identify certain people, and some even think that's how they even are good because of the number. Some people are just very ultra superstitious like that, bro. They're known by a number. So I like it because it's actually giving the NFL some flair and fun to it. We got to remember that they call the NFL the not fun league. So this is finally them opening up the horizons and being open to what's happening in the new modern world instead of this old-fashioned ass shit that they've been running the last few years, where everything was just very strict and you can't wear your socks like this, you can't wear your gloves like that, you can't have this on your eye tape, you can't write this certain thing, you can't have this tattoo showing. Bro, it's the start of something different in the NFL. It gives the players some choices and some options. It gives them some freedom to decide what jersey number they want to wear. I mean, so my thing is all the kickers seem to have the good numbers. I mean, they have all the no numbers. I don't want to see a kicker with number 2 and he's barely going to be on the field. Like the hell, put number 99 on the kicker. I care.
Okay.
I don't feel like kickers should have numbers like 4. What the fuck? Like, give that to a quarterback. Like, the hell, kicker doing 4.
I think I have a better understanding what this means now. I was confused. I thought there was restrictions. When I saw that, I thought they were restricting numbers. But okay, so I get it now. Yeah, that makes sense. Because linebackers have been 50s. So I would love to see a 75 linebacker tackling the quarterback. Is the quarterback numbers going to change as well, or is just
it's still the same?
Okay. All right.
I don't like it if we being completely 100. Maybe I'm just saying maybe I'm just old fashioned, but I just feel like that's just too confusing. Like I think single numbers obviously should just go to the quarterbacks, and you having single digit numbers at the receiver position that can confuse the hell out of me. Like at least I know receivers are in the teens, receivers are in the 80s, tight ends are in the 80s, the 40s. I'm good with that. But you give him.
But how would that be confusing? Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, how would that be confusing?
What are you talking confusing? You need to be able to distinguish what's a quarterback and what's a wide receiver. And I feel like
why?
What you mean? Why? So
you can have a wide receiver running down with 64 and running down the field with 64. So I get you.
No, bro. Okay, listen. You guys are completely out of whack here. There's no receiver in the league. There's no receiver on the league that is going to come out there with a jersey number 64. That's
I'm not saying that, but we talk about single-digit numbers. Quarterbacks wear single-digit numbers.
They do it in college. They do it in college.
You want to watch that trash? So
right. You're saying that because you don't watch college sports. But if you watch college sports and you completely, this is normal to you. Like you see guys with low jersey numbers. You see the 1s, the 2s, the 7s. You see it.
I don't like it.
You suck, bro.
I'm just saying I don't like it. I understand jersey numbers have sentimental value to some players, but you have to respect the fact that I don't want to see a wide receiver wearing a single-digit number. It just causes confusion as far as
that doesn't cause confusion. That's what they do in college, and they do that sometimes in the NFL. What do you mean?
That's college. Let them have that. But we in the NFL right now. As far as like the different prototypical players that you have playing that used to play quarterback in college and all that other stuff, it's just hard to
sound like Bill Parcells, man. That's terrible, bro.
How is that terrible? I'm just saying, like, it just as far as from a defensive perspective, it just caused too much confusion.
How? I'm lost. I still know that you play corner. If I follow the sport, I know that you play corner. I know who you are. I know you.
You know me, okay.
If Odell Beckham changes his jersey number from what he has now to number 4, I still know that's Odell Beckham. He plays.
I don't know what you mean by it caused confusion. I don't get that either. What do you mean by that?
It just causes confusion. Like you just give multiple positions same numbers. Like I don't like that. Like just distinguish them as what they are. You give receivers teens and 80s. You give quarterbacks single digit and teens. That's just what it is. And I agree with Banks. I feel like kickers and punters, they take all the good numbers. They need to have some they need to be picking the leftover numbers that everybody else gets.
Somebody in the comment, Rev D said 99 on the kicker. I'll be okay with that. You don't do that much.
They barely go on the field. Like I'm cool with a kicker getting 99 because they're barely on the field. But when it comes down to receivers getting single-digit numbers, when it comes down to running backs getting single-digit numbers, that's a little bit too much for me. Keep it the way it is.
That too much, bro?
That's too much. That is just too much.
How?
What do you mean? I just told you. Like they're like players. Positions are distinguished by their numbers. Numbers should not be shared by other positions. That's just how I feel.
But who's this? Who? Listen, Bill Parcells Jr. Who said that was a? What are you talking? If you don't open your mind and expand your mind, you're never going to progress in life, bro. Let these players have the fun that they want to. If they want to wear the jersey number, who the hell cares? I know that I'm looking at Odell Beckham when he catches the ball, or the hell Tua. I mean, we know who these players are, bro. Like, come on, man. Are you serious?
Bro, okay. Let me put it to you like this. So let's say a team decides to sign a player off the practice squad. He's a receiver. The receiver decides to pick, let's take 9. Okay, he's number 9. Nobody knows who this mofo is. And he decides to go in motion. You throw the ball to this dude, you thinking, okay, whatever. This motherfucker bombs this bitch about 80 yards and don't even know who he is. Come on now, bro.
What do you mean? He lined up at the
receiver.
He lined up at receiver.
How does the number?
Because the numbers
how does the number matter? What are you talking about?
Position you play. The numbers distinguish what position you play.
Oh my God,
bro,
dude! What are you talking about here?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? The numbers distinguish what position you play. Single digit numbers. Teens describe quarterbacks. Teens and 80s are receivers. You know what they are by the number that they're wearing. By you giving receivers and running backs single digit numbers, you don't know what position that they play. So if you have like a no-name player that has a number that you don't even know who the hell he is, how are you going to know?
But if he's lined up at receiver, you're going to think he's a receiver. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
What do you mean? G Money. When you could be a quarterback lined up at receiver, you don't know that because his number is a single-digit number.
What the hell are you?
Oh my God! What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? If you have a single-digit number, if you're lining up as a receiver right now, you know, okay, he's a quarterback. Something's up. We gotta be ready for this.
DeVore, wait. Just wait. Wait a second. Do you know that in practice and preseason games they do this shit, right? They wear jersey numbers that's not their jersey numbers, right? You do know that, right?
That's preseason. So, but when it comes down to the final 53, nobody wears them single-digit numbers. When you come down to the final, you know why? Because you have 100 players on the roster and you're just giving out numbers.
But that has nothing to do with what we're saying. What are you talking about?
He brought up preseason. I didn't bring up preseason. We talk about regular season right now.
No, we're talking about the concept of lining up.
Yes, we're talking about the concept of lining up. Correct. Correct.
I'm saying that's the receiver. He's playing receiver at that moment. Who gives a hell about his number? What are you talking about?
Hey, the quarterback can line up anywhere on the field if he wants to. That's just how it works. They can line up anywhere on the field. So if you line up as a receiver, you can still be the quarterback. It doesn't matter where you line up.
Either way it goes, somebody's throwing the ball.
What's what? I'm just saying that's how it's distinguished. You can have 5 quarterbacks on the field. You don't even know it because everybody's wearing single-digit numbers.
So okay, so wait. So if Deshaun Watson comes out there, he wears number 97.
That's against the rules. You can't do that. Quarterbacks can't do that.
I'm just saying hypotheticals here. If he decided to wear 97, it makes him a defensive lineman now?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
He's still a quarterback.
I'm talking about players outside of the main players. That's like, come on now. That players that don't have a market like that. You coming out and you wearing single-digit numbers. You can't distinguish who they are.
So what does the single digit have to do with their play? Like,
because numbers determine the position that you play. That's all I'm saying. It organizes the game.
Okay, all right.
I still know that you're. Never mind. We're never gonna. This conversation.
You're not going to win because I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense.
No, you're not making any sense. What are you talking about?
G Money. It like I said, it just organizes the game. Like as far as distinguishing what position that you play. I don't know who this mofo is wearing number 9. Does he play receiver? Does he have play quarterback?
But if he's lined up at a certain point, you should know the number should have nothing to do with it. He can have a blank jersey. If he's lined up at receiver, he's playing receiver at this possession. So what does the number got to do with it? Like what?
It has a big difference. If you have a receiver lined up with number 80 and you throw it to the receiver with number 80, okay, he's gonna catch the ball. But now you have a whole bunch of guys running out with single-digit numbers. You can't tell who's the quarterback and who's not. I'm just saying it could be a trick play, regardless. So it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense to me. Like you need to have some type of organization going on here. I don't like it. No, we think it's funny. We think it's funny.
We do. We
think it's funny. Or organization is funny. Organization is funny.
Oh Lord,
shit is hilarious, bro. Like,
we got to clip this too. Clip this.
Yeah.
We can clip it. I'm not the biggest college football watcher, but I don't like single-digit numbers on receivers and running backs and tight ends because the tight ends now gonna have single-digit numbers. I don't like that.
Woo! Woo! Wow!
Woo!
So if you got a single-digit number, we don't know what position you're playing. That's what we just don't know because everybody got.
Yeah, obviously the stars they're going to be well known, but as far as the no-name players wearing single-digit numbers, we don't know if they're quarterbacks, running backs, or receivers.
The referee, the owner, the guy in the stands, we don't know nothing.
They're not wearing numbers, but okay.
I'm just kidding, man.
Just saying. If we being 100, that's what just causes dysfunction. I like organization. Running backs, 20s, 30s, 40s, receivers, teens and 80s. That's what you get. Quarterbacks, single digits, teens.
I get you.
You're in the no fun league still.
You're right. I am in the no fun league. I'm in the no fun league. As far as taunting is concerned, you shouldn't be throwing flags for taunting. But anyway, any final thoughts before we end up closing this thing out?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll go save it. I'll save it. Yeah, go ahead. Whoever wants to go, because I'm definitely gonna get in your ass in the final thought.
Okay, I'll go first because I know you're gonna go in. Man, I don't really have anything. I think Vor was on fire tonight. It doesn't mean he was right, but he was on fire. It was a good show tonight, and thanks again. I appreciate being a part of this always. That's it. Go ahead, Banks. Go ahead.
First things first. Shout out to everybody in the chat tonight, man. We appreciate y'all coming by. As always, everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube. We appreciate you guys every week coming in and chilling with us, having a good time. I really want the comments to go off on this segment, especially. We talked about some very interesting stuff. I really want to see the opinions of everybody who's going on. DeVore could not be even more wrong tonight, bro. You're wrong about 2 points. The 49ers aren't taking a quarterback. That's for damn sure.
I didn't say they were. I never said they were.
They're not going for quarterback. So stop pushing the 49ers to draft a quarterback.
I never said that. I said it's a possibility they could take a quarterback, but I'm more leading towards them taking a receiver over a quarterback, but I'm damn sure not going to go and let the Niners take a corner. That's dead. They're not taking a corner in the top 3. That's dead.
Second point. Who the hell cares what jersey number they wear? Let these players have a right to express themselves and let them have fun and do it. Let's just give it a go. If it turns out to be an utter failure, I'm sure the NFL would make a change to it and say, you know what? We experimented with it. It didn't work. It's not a success, whatever. In order for a change to happen, you first have to accept change. Always remember that. You can't be short-minded to ideas. You have to be open to everything, and the possibilities are always endless in this thing we call life. That's just something on the side note. But anyway, enjoyed it. Had a good time tonight, as always. Appreciate you guys. You love one another. Take good care of each other. And how about my boy, George Floyd, getting his justice? I'm very happy about that. I woke up a proud black man today. We finally got something to go our way, so I couldn't be any happier. Again, it's not trying to make it racial or anything like that, but yesterday felt good for the African-American community, just not African-American community, the minority community. We can finally celebrate what we can feel like justice. It's still, the sentencing still is going to determine a lot, but, it feels good to be able to finally feel like you won something. And much respect and much props to the family of George Floyd, no matter what happened in that situation, how they tried to tarnish their son's name. At the end of the day, we end up winning. So I feel good about that. Black Lives Matter.
I was going to go ahead and say, as far in regards to the numbers, every time I play Madden in the league, there's always that one asshole that decides they want to change the receiver numbers or the running back numbers to single digits, and that shit is so fucking annoying. I just wanted to get that off my chest real quick. So when you doing that in real life, that's going to annoy the hell out of me. It ain't going to stop me from watching the game, but it's going to annoy the hell out of me. But outside of that, for real, again, NFL draft party next week, April 29th. Hopefully we will see you guys there. Outside of that, man, appreciate everybody that came through. Comment section has been fairly active this evening. You can catch us this Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. Most definitely share. This is Not for Debate. We're up out of here, man.
Peace.
Good night, y'all.